Alright folks, this is going to be our sorry attempt at a how-to. What we have here is a 93. Can you see that? 93 XJ. It's my daughter's Cherokee Country. And me and Steve are fixing the steering column on it because it came loose. Let's see if I'll swap it over here so you can see what we're doing. Okay, this is it's not very hard to do. If you've never done one before, it's a little complicated, but it can be done. You need some special tools. This is a GM style steering column, and what happens is there's 4 reverse torques in here that come loose on the tilt. And what you got to do, you can't really tell now, but it was really loose. Let me start from the front here. Since I already took it apart ahead of time instead of filming it. Alright, so what we have here is you pull the horn off, and then you're going to pull this off. These pieces here. Or the Phillips. And then you're going to have a nut. I think this one's 15/16 or something like that, and you usually got to pull it off with air. And then what you do is you're going to have a puller, and you screw your deals in here like this with this under it, and then you're basically just tighten that down over the column, and it'll pull the wheel off. Comes off pretty easy when you do it that way. Probably rent them. Important point here is you want to make sure that on the steering column post, when the nut comes off, make sure you're aligned. There's a mark here. If not, mark it yourself. I marked this one myself. And then there's a mark on the column so you know which way it goes back on. Alright. And then after you get the steering wheel off and the nut, you're going to have this piece. And then there's a little snap ring around that post. Oops, I'm dropping it. Need some picks and a screwdriver to get that sucker off of there. The way you do that is you have a puller, or a press I should say. And what that does is press this piece down. So you can get to that snap ring. You pull the snap ring off, take this off, boom, it all comes out. And then we'll go back inside here. Hand me the key, Steve. No, the whole thing. I was going to show how it comes off. And then you're inside. And you want to take off your handle. It's a press fit. You just pop it off, but be really careful because they're easy to break. This one had been snapped. And then you got your tilt handle, which goes in here, and that just unscrews. You unscrew this. Whoop, let me back up. Too close. You unscrew this, pull this back, and then there's some Torx heads. You pull those off. And sometimes, right in there, can't do it both at the same time, right in here, sometimes there's a Phillips head or a bolt that you pull out to get your ignition lock cylinder out, or right here is a slot. You got to press a screwdriver down in there, and then what you do is you turn the key to the on position. You don't have to start it, just on the on position. And you push it, pull the bolt out, and this will just pop out like that. Okay, so now we're down to this part here. And what the problem is here is we need to lengthen the wires for the turn signal switch. And what you got to do is go under the dash. And my daughter already unbolted the kick panel. And there we go. And we got to lengthen these wires, and we'll probably have to loosen these bolts to make room to slide these wires up. You only need a couple of inches because we got to get this collar off. So that's where we're at now, and I will be back. Okay, Esteban, I'll try not to get in your way. There's 2 bolts holding the steering column up and 4 that hold it to the steering column. And you want to drop those. Shit, I just knocked those over. Ah, we don't want to lose those. Oh, shit. Shit. Come back. All right, I'll put those there. All right. So he's taking that out so we can make some room to pull the wires forward to get the collar off. All right, we'll be back.
Showcase it.
Yes. Pull the puller out just so we can see what it looks like in it. There you go. Okay, this is part. No, I want to see the puller. This is part of the steering puller kit, and it pulls out the tilt pins, or I don't know the correct term, but I've only been doing it 30-some years. And what Steve's doing is he's going to slide it into the side there, and we're going to pull the pins out to get that last knuckle off the steering there to get to those fancy bolts. And he just tighten it down, and it pulls the. You can tighten it all the way down. No, make your screw back. Pull your silver one all the way to the top. And then screw the one, yeah, and then screw the one your right hand was on all the way in. Now screw that, yep, exactly. You gotta make sure yeah, you got it, that's it. Okay, he knows what he's doing, we'll be back. Okay, now it's out, and there's a picture of the pins. And in the background, there's the hole. All right, now we're on our way. We got us running. Okay, can you point it down here? You'll find this is the connector for your, where are you there? I can't see it. There you go. Connector for your turn signal system. And what I did was there's a piece of plastic, right? Perfect, Steve. Right here. And I just pulled it out of that, and which gave me room up here. You can back up more. Whoa. A lot of working pieces. That's the problem. Okay, so we were able to pull the wiring out. Okay, that gave us room to pull this collar off. And then back up a little. I'm going to get this piece out. Remember this one on yours? Mm-hmm. You turn, twist, and yeah, pull it out. This one's never been apart. Okay, now. Oh my God, dude. I can get to those. I don't know if I can get to that one. But there, let me see it. See if I could even see them. Here we are. I don't know if you can see that down in there. I can't get my finger in it. Give me a pointer. I use this as a pointer. Right. Right. Shit. It's too dark. Shine that light down in here. Right down that fucking hole. Oop, excuse me. Yeah, right there. You got it, Steve. There is a reverse Torx right here. And there's 4 of them. One there, one here, and 2 on the other side. Those are the ones we got to get to. Okay, that's what we're doing now. Alright, so you got to take the tilt off. And all this falls out of here. This is a nightmare. Oh shit, the bearing. We don't want the bearing to fall apart. Oh! Hang on. Keep that in there. Alright. Ah, shit. And then you just fold that over. We're going to leave it right there. This is I'm getting shit everywhere. Alright, Steve, we need to find these. And if you can see that, the little Torx, these are the bolts you want to tighten. Because it's, see that? Yeah. That's what the problem was. So we got to take them out. And thank God Esteban brought some Loctite. We're going to Loctite these in and put it back together for my little souvenir. Okay, now Steve is in the process of pulling those reverse torques off. And what size is that? Can't see the size, it won't focus on it. You tell what size that is? It's a cheap one from Harbor Freight, but it does the job.
E8.
An E8. And then he just starts tightening them back up. It's tedious, but it can be done in a day. There you go. Then we got 3 more to do. Just remember, put some good Loctite on that sucker, and your problem's over, other than putting it back together, which is a royal pain in the ass. And we'll try and get some of that. Save the nasty words.